Being paced by the number 12 of Brandon Hagan car down here on the front stretch, the RJW number 12 machine. Brandon Hagan's car pacing our field for tonight's feature. Starting inside row number 1, that will be the number 18 of Gavin Isley. Outside him, the 32 RS is Ryan Shanahan. Mike Fowler's number 410, and Ricky Page, the 4B, will start on row number 2. Row number 3 will be Dalton Rombles, number 41 to the inside. Outside him, that will be Eric Nyer in the number 34 machine. Jamie Brown's number 10B and Josh Rayom's number 91 are in row number 4. Row number 5, that'll be Greg Henry to number 15 on the inside. Outside him, that'll be the 1M of Jack Meeks. Justin Gadbaugh's number 18G and the 36M of Frank Mackin will start in row number 6. 13th starting position inside row number 7. That's the number 1 of David Rogers. Outside him, it's the 14th starting spot, driver of the Fox 28. That is Tyler Stevenson. Rachel Zacharias, the number 16B, and Frank Sibley's number 92. They'll start in row number 8. Row number 9, it'll be Travis Beck in the number 6 machine. Outside him will be Remington Ham in the 57H. The 621 of Trevor Gibbons and the 7D of Dustin Hutton are in row number 10. Row number 11, that will be Taylor Dockstader's number 2. And on the high side, Chris Banowski will be in the 04 ride. Kevin Warren's number 8 and Tyler Corcoran's number 64 make up row number 12. 13th final row, it'll be the 131 of Mike Fairbanks. Being led by the Brandon Hagan, the number 12, out of turn number 4. Get on your feet, raise your hands, wave to the Sportsman guys. They're going to give it right back at you. The 4 wide salute here at Cannon. The 4 wide salute, the greatest salute in all of motorsports. Great sight to see him rolling down the front stretch here. 4 abreast as we get ready to turn loose our field of 25 Sportsman cars for the Brandon Hagan tribute here tonight. 25 laps will be the distance. This is the one they marked on the calendar, the beginning of the racing season. Sportsman drivers all circled this one. If there's one race you're going to win in 2021, it has to be the Brandon Hagan tribute race here at Can-Am Speedway. Sportsman drivers, this is the one they want. This is their opportunity here. Green flag is in the air. Ryan Shanahan got a beautiful restart to the outside of row number 1. He'll drop down in front of the 18 of Gavin Isley. He'll look for the early lead. Mike Fowler right there in the number 410. Dalton Rombo goes up the hill, opens the door to the inside. Eric Dyer took a peek to the bottom. Then it's the number 4 of Ricky Page. He'll swing to the top side of the racetrack. Josh Rayom looks for his back bumper. Now Rayom's going to come through the middle in the Thousand Island Construction Services number 91. He'll try to go between Jamie Brown and the 4B of Ricky Page. They made contact as they went up in there. Page went to the outside. Rayom came back to the bottom in that number 91 machine. One car around over in turn number 3. Michael Clare will look him over. We got a couple of cars around, I should say, so caution flag is going to come out onto the speedway. The 16B, Rachel Zacharias in that 16B, facing the wrong direction up the top, or should be the bottom of turn number 3 and 4. Kevin Warren also involved the RJW number 8 machine. So the caution flag coming out, scored 2 laps. Outside the front row, they go to turn number 3 and 4. Pound the throttle. We go back to green. They'll work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Mike Fowler's going to get a beautiful start. Goes to the inside of the 18 of Gavin Isley. Fowler's going to take over spot number 2. Dalton Romble settles up into the number 4 spot to the outside of the speedway as they work off turn number 4 down the front stretch. Fowler trying to close that gap. Now looks to the inside of Ryan Shanahan's number 32 RS. Shanahan, great run off the bottom of turn number 2, pulls the lead down the backstretch. Dalton Rombo settling up now. He'll come to the inside of the Isley number 18, and caution is back out on the Speedway once again. Caution flag coming out for the 34 of Eric Nyer, and he got that thing started and headed right back towards the pit area. So caution flag waving once again very quickly here. Early going, the Brandon Hagan tribute race for the Dirt Car Sportsman Division, the Bob Johnson Auto Group Dirt Car Sportsman Division. So the call going out to the field to double up. They'll come back around for the white flag, and then we'll go back to green flag racing action. Eric Nyer back out of the pit area in the number 34. Shanahan, your leader, will jump on the throttle right about there, and we go back to green. Three wide right in the middle of the field as David Rogers takes the Lakeside Property Service number 1 down through the middle of the Speedway. One car way off the top of the racetrack, turn to number 2. That is the 7D of Dustin Hutton. That's the second time tonight that Hutton has ended up way off the racing surface to the outside of the Speedway. During his heat race, he was all the way off the top of turn number 1, and now he's off turn number 2. Dirt Car Sportsman team all throwing money at our Sportsman race here this evening as we go back to green. Back to racing action we go, and again, Ryan Shanahan steps out to the early lead in front of the field. Mike Fowler settles in the number 2 spot, then it's Gavin Eisen, the number 18. Dalton Rombo's 41 chases him. Josh Rayom to the bottom in the number 91. Here comes the 1 of David Rogers, the Lakeside Outdoor Property Services. He'll go to the bottom of the Speedway as Jack Meeks goes to the high side. Meeks all the way to the outside, the number 1 M Machine as they drag race down the backstretch. Rayom able to slide underneath the 41 of Dalton Rombo. Rombo's going to battle right back to the outside, and now Jack Meeks going to go all the way to the top side of turn number 4 as he tries to keep the RPMs wound up. He'll go to the outside now. Meeks splits right through the middle. 3 wide, 4 wide, turn number 2. And look who's going to come out ahead of that deal. The number 1 of David Rogers went right to the bottom. Now Josh Rayom's going to follow him as they go into turn number 3 and 4. Rayom goes right to the bottom of the racetrack as he works underneath the 41 of Dalton Rombo. Jack Meeks right there with him in that number 1 machine. Hard to believe a lap ago they were 4 wide, and right now they're going to continue to battle side by side off turn number 2. Down the backstretch they will go. Rombo slides out in front of Jack Meeks, number 1. Here comes Tyler Stevenson, the Fox 28 ride, the Cascanet Ford machine. He'll go to the inside of the racetrack, turn number 3. Meeks again all the way to the extreme outside of the racetrack. One car way off the top side. That is the number 18G of Justin Gadbaugh. He had problems on the 18. I think he's got a flat tire as he is slowly dropping back through the field in the 18G machine. Back up front, your leader off turn number 4 is Ryan Shanahan, the number 32. Mike Fowler chases him as they go down into turn number 1 and 2. Fowler's going to try to make a stick to the inside, but he's got to have to go a lot lower than that, and not much room underneath the 32 RS of Ryan Shanahan. Then it's the 18 of Gavin Isley, the number 1 of David Rogers, all the way up to the number 4 spot, followed by Josh Rayom rounding out the top 5. Then it's the 41 of Dalton Rombo, the number Fox 28 of Tyler Stevenson, the 10B of Jamie Brown as they work off turn number 4 down the front stretch. Jack Meeks to the outside of the number 1, Tyler Corcoran's number 64, the 15 of Greg Henry as they go down to turn number 1 and 2. The field continuing to circulate around that battle up towards the front of the field, continuing to shape up as Ryan Shanahan continues to show the way. If Mike Fowler wants to get by him, he's going to have to get either lower or try to go around the top side. And you can see Fowler hit the track tire as he came off turn number 2 that time, lifting that front end right up in the air, allowing the number 32 of Ryan Shanahan to open up about a 4-car advantage that time as they came off turn at number 4 down the front stretch. Gavin Isley continuing to run that 3rd spot, followed by the 1 of David Rogers. Rogers trying to close that gap now in the number 1, followed by the Josh Rayom number 91 and the 41R of Dalton Rombo. Battle up front continuing between Ryan Shanahan and the number 410 of Mike Fowler as they come off turn number 4. Shanahan started outside row number 1. Fowler started in the third starting position, so they started second and third, and they're nose to tail off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Lap traffic may come into play very quickly here for our leaders as they work off turn number 4 down the front stretch. It will be Ryan Shanahan by about a car length as the cross flags are out. We are halfway home, halfway in for your Sportsman feature here tonight, the Brandon Hagan Tribute Race. Mike Fowler was right on the back bumper of Ryan Shanahan. Shanahan able to hold him off as they went down to the turn 1 to a car slow right in front of our leaders, going to get twisted around. That is Mike Fairbanks spinning right in front of our leaders. And Ryan Shanahan and Mike Fowler both somehow able to turn the cars left really hard and got underneath them. And luckily so did everybody else, so nobody gets into the number 131 of Mike Fairbanks as he got twisted around over in turn number 4. Caution. We get ready to go back to green side by side off turn number 3 and 4 again. Ryan Shanahan's going to pound the throttle. He'll come to the bottom of the racetrack. Fowler goes to the outside. Shanahan to the bottom. Look at David Rogers come to the inside. Rogers down the backstretch now steps out to the top side as Shanahan drives hard down into turn number 3. Mike Fowler's going to try to make a stick top side of the racetrack. He'll go all the way to the outside off turn number 4. Gets a good run down the front stretch. Shanahan able to hold him off down to turn number 1 and 2. Fowler gets right back in line. Then David Rogers right on his back bumper, followed by the number 18 of Gavin Isley. They work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Behind Isley, there's a 91 of Josh Rayom side by side with the Dalton Rombo's number 41. He'll go to the top side of the racetrack. Rombo trying to find something on the outside, but Rayom gets a good run to the bottom. He'll slip underneath the number 18 of Gavin Isley. They'll go wheel to wheel down to turn number 1 and 2. Rayom trying to pick up spot number 4 off turn number 2, and he will have it. Josh Rayom is up to the number 4 position. They work down to turn number 3 and 4. We got a new lead out in front of the field. It continues to be Ryan Shanahan, and it looked for a second like Fowler was going to slide right by him, but couldn't get there. Shanahan slammed the door shut. Now the number 1 of David Rogers tries to stuff a nose underneath Mike Fowler. Can't quite get there. They work down into turn number 3 and 4. That second place battle shaping up is aiding the number 32 of Ryan Shanahan as now the number 1 of Dave Rogers and the 410 of Mike Fowler start battling. Shanahan able to open up about a half a second lead out in front. They work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Lineup's going to stay the same as David Rogers tries to close the gap. There's Josh Rayom, the Thousand Islands Construction Services number 91, holding on to spot number 4, and Rayom beginning to eat away at that lead of the first 3 cars, I should say, down to turn number 1 and 2. There's your battle for the lead. The Ryan Shanahan, number 32 RS, the Steve Hall Contracting, Platinum Property Service, number 32, out in front of the field. He'll go down to turn number 3, makes a stick right at the bottom of the racetrack. Fowler about half a groove lower. Can't get to the inside in the RAD number 410 machine as he tries to close that gap. David Rogers continuing to try to reel these guys in off turn number 2 down the backstretch. Right now, our flagger, Mike LeClaire, getting ready to wave at the field. 5 fingers up, 5 more laps to go as he waves at him down the front stretch. Again, Fowler tried to stick a nose underneath Shanahan. Couldn't quite get there that time. They work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. That lead battle's going to turn into a good one. We got a car slow over in turn number 3, and caution flag is going to come out one more time. The number 5 more laps to go off turn number 4. Green flag is back in the air. Mike Fowler looked to the outside of the Speedway, but Ryan Shanahan's going to drive off underneath him down the backstretch. Shanahan stuck right like glue to the bottom of the Speedway. Anybody want to get by, they're going to have to go to the outside. There goes David Rogers, drives it up deep, drives all the way to the outside of the Speedway, opens the door to the inside, and Josh Rayom came alongside. Rayom looks at the bottom, contact between he and the one of David Rogers, and that's going to allow the Corcoran number 64 to drive back underneath. Now the Rayom number 91 comes right back to the inside of Corcoran, down to turn number 3 and 4. Rayom's going to drive it in even deeper, takes the spot right back from Tyler Corcoran over in turn number 3. And caution flag is going to wave one more time. We got a car around up in turn number 2. The 131 of Mike Fairbanks facing the wrong direction, top of turn number 2. Gavin Isley also rolling to a stop over there on the backstretch. All over his back bumper. We'll see if he can do it one more time. Mike Fowler is going to be right there with him. Also the number 1 of David Rogers, the 91 of Josh Rayom as they come off turn number 4. Green flag back in the air. Again, they're going to work off the bottom of the racetrack. Turn number 2 down the backstretch. They will head. Ryan Shanahan takes the field to turn number 3. Now to turn number 4. David Rogers drives in hard, just way to the outside of the racetrack. Corcoran chases him to the top of the Speedway. They'll come off turn number 4 down the front stretch. Everybody stays right in line, though. Rayom up to the number 4 spot. Corcoran worked outside of him, but Josh Rayom drove right back to the bottom. They work off turn number 2 down the backstretch. David Rogers gets a good run to the outside, closes right to the back of the 410 of Mike Fowler. He'll drive to the outside again, trying to find cushion on the outside of the Speedway. You can see it starting to blacken up as they come down the front with parallel flags of just 2 more trips around the Speedway. Ryan Shanahan just about a half a groove off the bottom of the racetrack. Gets a beautiful run down the backstretch. 3-car advantage down to turn number 3 and 4. Shanahan right to the bottom. Not going to give it up right now. If you want to go around, you're going to have to do it on the top side as they come down to turn number 4 and down the front stretch. White flag is waving. Josh Rayom takes the spot away from David Rogers. They worked off turn number 2 down the back. Final time, they'll head to turn number 3 and 4. Mike Rogers ready to hang out to the outside. Drifts it to the top side of the Speedway. Shanahan on the bottom. Lets it drift this time. Fowler may get the spot off turn number 4. Mike Fowler's going to score the win. Mike Fowler's going to lead the last quarter of a lap and take the win away from the number 32 of Ryan Shanahan. Shanahan's going to come home second. The 91 of Josh Rayom will be third. Fourth's going to go to David Rogers. He'll be followed by Dalton Robbo, Tyler Corcoran, and the 34 of Eric Nyer. He's not going to waste any time. Now the race car. Mike Fowler's going to be your Bob Johnson Auto Group Dirt Car Sportsman winner here on the Brandon Hagan Tribute Race at the Can-Am Speedway.
That was a fucking wheeler he did, man.
He didn't waste any time climbing out on the backside. You should hear him hooting and hollering down here. Finally getting the helmet off on the backside of the race car. And for the second time this year, going to plant the 410 in the victory lane. Getting everything off, getting the radios off the inside. No, he's going to go back to the roof. Here's Mike Fowler, your Bob Johnson Auto Group feature winner.
Real baby.
Her baby.
That would have been a pretty awesome picture. That would have been a pretty cool picture.
Mike Fowler, look, he can't even catch his breath down here. Oh my God, what a racer. You were all over the back bumper of Ryan Shanahan for 25 laps. He made one little mistake on that last turn, and he come off the bottom of the racetrack, and you took advantage.
It's weird because, I followed him. I grew up in 1 and 2. He'd got me a little bit. It took me like a lap and a half to really get back into a rhythm. And then, he'd gap me coming out of 4. And then I'd gain twofold getting in. And I didn't want to run him over. I didn't want to move him. I raced how I want to be raced. So I just said, screw it. Taking it to the top shelf, and it's either going to work or Roger's going to get underneath me. So live and die. I wanted this one pretty damn bad. This is pretty personal to me. Brandon was a good friend. We shared a lot of fun times on Sundays. Talk about our weekend. And this is back when I was racing the first time. So this one's for you, big guy.
We talked about it earlier upstairs. We were talking and mentioned it throughout the night. This is the one race, the beginning of the season, Sportsman drivers all circled on that calendar. If you're going to go to victory lane, it had to be tonight.
I go from, being competitive at the end of the year last year, and this year it's, I was able to build upon what last year. And the last couple weeks here, I struggled. I was trying some stuff, trying to get a little bit better. And I actually went back to what we've been running all season prior to the last 2 weeks, and it woke up, and I was a little worried in the heat race. I had a vibration, but I didn't care. It was either going to grenade the rear end again, drive shaft, torque arms, it didn't matter. It was I was either winning this race or putting her in the fence, and we were able to come away with the win.
People you want to thank, Mike?
Oh, Jesus, man. I got to thank Dartmouth Motorworks for all the help that they give me. They provide me with a great crate motor, and they prepare it for me real well. I got to thank Atomic Signworks for the wrap, Designs of Elegance. Sorry. White Knuckle Clothing, Bicknell. I think my mom is, I freaking see ya. Everybody has a hand in this. Jason's here for the win. He missed the first one the earlier year. I was glad he was able to make it. Thanks for coming, bud. Brian, for all his help. He takes care of the tires. It's his only job, and he absolutely loves it. So I'd say he nailed it tonight.
All right, congratulations. Your Brandon Hagan tribute winner, Mike Fowler, driver of the number 410, is going to pick up the win in the Bob Johnson Auto Group Dirt Car Sportsman feature here tonight.